Just a bit. Okay, as promised, let's get back to those numbers coming in from AMFI. We have Abhishek Tiwari, Executive Director and Chief Business Officer at PGIM India Mutual Fund joining in. Abhishek, great to have you with us. So that net equity number is massive. It's gone above 30,000 crores this time around, right? And that's a huge jump, considering we were in a bit of a declining trend so far this year. What do you think has gone behind it?
Oh, first of all, thank you for having me. I think what has gone behind it is the linearity of returns that continues to follow. I think we haven't really seen a trend which is one way down. But having said that, I think it also, in a manner of sorts, shows the evolution of the investors, where for every dip there are new and new buyers. When you look at the folio numbers behind these, absolute sales numbers, you will realize what I'm talking is what is making sense. And in addition to that, I think the sectoral and thematic, stories and the narratives which are adding up to what is happening at the broader economy is clearly being able to drive the sales up.
Abhishek, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining in. The large cap funds, they may have picked up from the month of April, but they still remain pretty tepid in comparison to the mid caps and the large caps. There's a lot of consensus on the street going on that the large caps are the ones that offer more value compared to the mid and small caps, but the flows are suggesting completely otherwise.
Yeah, so I think there's always going to be that tussle between shorter term trends and longer term performance. The shorter term trend clearly suggests that the value available in the large caps versus the segment of the market which is small and mid cap, which has done a stellar run over the last 12 to 18 months in specific, clearly offers a lot more value. And I think as a fund house, we have been out there saying the same thing for over 6 months now, if not longer. So clearly there's more value when you think of looking at that segment from a risk return in the near to the medium term. But having said that, obviously the longer term picture, because of the 18 and 24 months performance in small and mid caps and also the thematic funds, is clearly painting a different picture for the investor.
Yeah, exactly. I was just coming to thematics because Abhishek, this is an eye-popping number. I don't remember ever seeing an inflow of 19,200 crores in thematic funds. Some of this will be because the NFOs are thematic in nature, right? I think SBI's, NFO was the auto sector NFO. But again,
yes.
What further intelligence can you share with us on this huge number and the trend, more importantly, because the purists will say that handle thematics will care, don't go overboard with thematics in your portfolio. But these numbers are absolutely, gravity defying.
So what you're saying is totally making sense. I think the numbers in itself is a departure from any of what any of us would have expected. Having said that, the fact is that it also shows, and this is more so how we are thinking about it, when we draw up our plans. The breakup is important to understand. One is that clearly some of these themes, some of these sectors have a far larger representation than it used to have earlier, combined with the fact that the policies and reforms are really been something at the back of every investor and every investment manager's mind, where they have more confidence in terms of backing these schemes. Combine that to the fact that the investor in itself has evolved. And let me qualify that statement by first of all saying a large part of it is driven by the returns that they see. But then there is a large part of the investor community which is evolved and who wants to literally participate in some of these themes without really leaving it to the fund manager's discretion. And I think a lot of that is what is driving the thematic and sectoral fund flows.
Okay. I must also point out, I'd completely forgotten about this. There was also an HDFC manufacturing fund that actually came out in this period.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that I think mopped up over 9,000 crores as well. So there's one large fund house, SBI with their auto fund, there's HDFC with the manufacturing fund.
Yes.
And we're seeing these absolutely gigantic numbers on the thematic side.
Yeah. So my sense is the SBI fund is still not captured in the flows, but it's more the HDFC fund and some of the earlier thematic funds which are getting captured in the flows yet.
Oh, okay. So maybe the SBI fund gets captured into next month's data. So this was largely on the HDFC manufacturing side. So Abhishek, your sense, I mean, these are some of the biggest fund houses that we're talking about. But will we see medium-sized fund houses also keep coming out with more thematics? Is that the construct? Where else would you incrementally going down the year? Where else? Which other category do you expect to see bigger funds coming to?
No, so I can't speak for the entire industry, but I can tell you what we are talking and what we are hearing from some of our peer sets. Some of these sectors and themes, specifically the manufacturing, combine that to maybe BFSI funds for fund houses who don't have that as a separate fund, and healthcare, which essentially are more structural themes and which are pegged to be growing faster than the broader nominal growth of the economy, are these themes, are these segments which will clearly show its representation. If I may, I would only add, for the benefit of investors, to say that just don't get into it because the near-term returns have been great. Please do review it from a perspective, say, are these broad enough themes? Do they have a larger representative set at the back end? So that these themes and these funds can really be a longer part of your portfolio going forward, and you don't have to keep on twisting and turning when the performance goes through that cycle as well.
All right, Abhishek, we'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining in and sharing with us your insights on the data from AMFI, the data mutual fund data coming out. The big takeaway is the net inflow number, 34,000 crores at a record.